For our BME 405 Senior Design Project, Team 4 decided to focus on the issue of diabetic foot ulcers. Every 20 seconds, a patient loses a limb due to diabetes. Unstable blood glucose levels cause diabetics to experience many secondary complications, including the development of diabetic foot ulcers. DFUs, which occur in 34% of diabetics, are open wounds that typically form on the plantar side of the feet. Diabetics who have peripheral neuropathy, the loss of feeling in the extremities, are especially at risk for developing ulcers. DFUs are a serious complication as over 50% of ulcers become infected. This infection often leads to the need to amputate a toe, multiple toes, or even a portion of the leg. In fact, 20% of infected DFUs eventually result in amputation.
You know, this problem is, it's this silent, sinister syndrome that's kind of taking over. It's more expensive now than the 5 most expensive cancers in the United States.
Our solution is the Dfut system, which embeds proactive diabetic foot ulcer tracking into everyday life. This device monitors the development of DFUs before they present themselves to the patient or the clinician through the data collected by the humidity and temperature measurements.
When considering the design of the hardware, our starting point was making a product which would fit seamlessly into the daily life of the user. With this in mind, we based our design off of a bathroom scale. The scale is 12 inches by 14 inches and 1.25 inches thick, made out of a Delrin top and plexiglass bottom, chosen for their weight-bearing capabilities. The design was modeled in SolidWorks and cut using the Carbide Shapeoko machine.
We chose to use infrared thermometer sensors to measure temperature and humidity sensors to measure transepidermal water loss, which is also known as TOOL, and those were used to assess the risk of diabetic foot ulcers. There are 6 regions on the foot where DFUs commonly develop. However, due to size and cost limitations, we implemented 3 temperature and 3 humidity sensors on each foot for proof of concept. There were 4 load sensors in the corner of the device to measure weight for identifying the user. However, in the last week of the semester, they broke and could not be replaced in time for this demo.
So I would wholeheartedly endorse adding on, as we add on data to support the predictive potential of those sorts of things.
Anna just got her Dfut device and is using it for the first time. For the purpose of this demonstration, she will enter her weight manually since the load sensors intended for weight identification recently broke. After calibration is completed, Anna is prompted to select the new user button and then to enter her physician's email that will be receiving an email in case of DFU formation. She is then prompted to enter her name before standing on the device. In just a few seconds, Anna is notified that she is not at risk of a DFU forming and is able to go about her day. It is now the next day and Anna is going to use her Dfut device to take her daily measurements. She took her weight this morning and is weighing lighter. She waits for the device to calibrate. Even with the fluctuation in her weight, Dfut is still able to identify her and she is prompted to confirm that it's her. Dfut runs and intakes her measurements. Within seconds, Dfut lets Anna know that today there is a risk of DFU formation at one of the locations on her feet. For future state, an email will then be sent from the Dfut device and systems to the designated physician's email that was input on the first day of use. This email will include the relevant temperature and humidity readings.
The kind of efforts that are going into trying to prevent or identify and treat and then prevent these programs and problems is extraordinary, not only within our program, but frankly around the world. But a lot of these problems come up short, and a lot of these solutions, I should say, come up short. And part of the big idea for us would be to be able to get out in front of the problem. And that's why I think the project that you guys are doing is so important, because the best wound is maybe the one we never had. And seriously, here's to making a difference. Here's to keeping a few more legs on a few more bodies. And here's to paying it forward.